Hey everyone, and welcome back to Julian Stories. Today, we're diving into a story that proves you don't need to shout to shake the world. Imagine this: one woman sits silently in her first-class seat for just 7 minutes. No screams, no struggle, just quiet composure. Yet, that stillness, that profound calm, was enough to force an entire airline to ground its fleet for 48 hours and fundamentally rethink how they saw people. How could a lone black woman, seemingly unnoticed, challenge a system so powerful? The answer unfolded in the quiet hum of an airplane cabin. This is the story of Jasmine Crockett, and how she used steadfast dignity, not defiance, to demand justice. The scene opens as the airplane door hisses open, a cool breeze entering the plush first-class cabin. Soft leather, gentle lighting, a haven from the outside world. Into this quiet luxury steps Jasmine Crockett. No one really sees her, not in the way that matters. They might register a figure: navy blazer, simple skirt, polished but worn low heels, an old laptop clutched in her hand alongside a well-loved folder tied with a frayed ribbon. Her presence is graceful, deliberate, but utterly unassuming. She finds her seat, 2A, reserved days ago, and settles in, pulling out that trusty, slightly battered laptop. Around her, the privileged world continues. Books open, phones scrolled, newspapers rustled. They see a woman, perhaps, but not the congresswoman. Not the advocate whose mind is currently shaping a speech for the Swiss Human Rights Forum. The first line glowing on her screen: "Justice is not noise, a global conversation on silent power." Jasmine is immersed in her work, unaware she's already become a target. Enter Ethan, a flight attendant with sharp features and an even sharper gaze, accompanied by his younger, more uncertain colleague, Claire. Ethan scans the cabin, his eyes snagging on Jasmine. She doesn't fit his picture of first class. He sees an anomaly, a disruption. Not with words, not yet, but with a look, a quiet, chilling dismissal. He approaches, tablet in hand, superiority radiating from him. "Excuse me." His voice is polite, but cold, devoid of warmth. "Are you the passenger in this seat? This is for frequent first-class customers." The unspoken question hangs heavy. Do you belong here? Jasmine doesn't flinch. No anger, no defensiveness. With practiced calm, she retrieves her membership card and presents it. It's a simple act, yet profoundly powerful. Her silence, her composure, is her shield and her statement. Claire watches, torn, sensing the injustice but frozen by inaction. Ethan takes the card, scrutinizes it, searching for a flaw. Finding none, his forced to retreat, momentarily thwarted but clearly unsatisfied. But the challenge isn't over. Moments later, the cabin door opens again. This time, it's Karen Whitfield. Red buttercon dress, expensive heels clicking, an aura of absolute entitlement preceding her. She scans the cabin, her eyes landing on seat 2A, her seat, in her mind, now occupied by Jasmine. Disbelief, then disdain, clouds Karen's features. She strides directly towards Jasmine. No greeting, just a sharp command slicing through the quiet air: "You should know your place." It's an order, an expectation of immediate compliance from someone she deems unworthy of this space. And Jasmine? She remains utterly still. The words wash over her. She simply looks up from her laptop, her gaze calm but unwavering. The silence stretches, thick with unspoken prejudice. Karen bristles, frustrated by the lack of reaction she expected. Fear? Anger? Something. Then, Jasmine speaks. Her voice is soft, measured, yet it cuts through the tension like a laser. "If I haven't done anything wrong, why should I give up my seat?" Boom. It's not an argument. It's a quiet, devastating question that challenges Karen's entire worldview. It demands introspection, not reaction. Karen is stunned into silence. Her lips part, but no words come. The mask of superiority cracks. Nearby, a young girl in seat 3B, sensing the gravity, discreetly starts recording on her phone. She captures the silent standoff, the palpable tension. And then, she captures something else. Karen, recovering slightly, turns not to Jasmine, but subtly leans towards Ethan. The girl's phone records the almost invisible exchange, a thick wad of cash slipping from Karen's hand into Ethan's pocket. A silent bribe. Power asserting itself through money when entitlement failed. Karen walks away, smug. Ethan pockets the cash. The cabin remains tense, complicit in its silence. But Jasmine just sits there. For 7 long minutes, she embodies quiet resistance. She doesn't fight, she doesn't argue. She simply is. Her stillness becomes an act of profound defiance. Then, footsteps. 2 security officers board the plane, heading straight for Jasmine. The lead officer says, voice flat, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the plane. They don't know who she is. They are just following orders, likely prompted by Ethan or Karen. Jasmine looks up, meeting their gaze. I'm not getting off the plane. Her voice is soft, but firm. The officer presses, do you know who we are? Jasmine's reply is legendary. I know exactly who you are. But do you know who I am? Silence. They don't. Then, Jasmine delivers the line that changes everything. If I were a 17-year-old girl, she asks softly, with no one to protect me, would you still look at me like this? The question hangs heavy, indicting not just the officers, but the entire system they represent. It forces them, and everyone watching, to confront the bias laid bare. Shame flickers across the officers' faces. They are frozen. Suddenly, the young girl who recorded the bribe stands up, trembling but resolute. She walks to Jasmine. I don't know who you are, she whispers, holding out her phone, but here's the video of them taking the money. I couldn't stay quiet. That act of courage, sparked by Jasmine's quiet strength, changes the dynamic. The officers, faced with evidence and the weight of Jasmine's words, back down. Jasmine eventually deplanes, not in defeat, but on her own terms. But this is far from over. On the jet bridge, Jasmine makes a call. Not for an apology, not for compensation. We're not sending an email, she tells her aide. We're opening a public meeting. Get the Skylux board. Get their executives. Get the press. What followed was unprecedented. Jasmine Crockett, facing the airline's leadership in a packed, media-filled room, didn't demand heads roll. She stood tall and asked that piercing question, if you've treated me like this today, how many nameless people have been treated this way, and no one ever witnessed it? The question reverberated. Shame washed over the executives. Claire, the younger flight attendant, wept silently. Ethan stood rigid with guilt. The CEO was speechless. Jasmine's proposal wasn't punishment, it was transformation. Ground your flights for 48 hours, she urged. Not to hurt your bottom line, but to learn. Learn again how to treat people as human beings. And they did it. Skylux Airlines grounded its entire fleet. Mandatory empathy training, workshops on implicit bias, a new policy, people before seats. It was a seismic shift, sparked by 7 minutes of silent dignity. Later, speaking at an aviation conference, Jasmine didn't boast. She simply said, I don't teach anyone how to be human. I just remind them that they once knew how to feel. The young girl from the flight stood up then too, adding, thanks to Jasmine, I learned courage isn't shouting loudest, but doing the right thing when no one else speaks up. Jasmine's final words weren't about victory, but about inner strength. I've only held on to my self-respect. And perhaps that's what awakened the kindness in others. An incredible story, isn't it? A reminder that true power often lies not in the noise we make, but in the quiet strength of our convictions and our unwavering self-respect. Please remember, folks, this story, including the characters like Jasmine Crockett, Karen Whitfield, Ethan, and Claire, is a fictional narrative created for entertainment and inspiration here on Julian Stories. It doesn't represent real individuals or events. Thank you for joining us on Julian Stories. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss our next powerful narrative. Until next time, remember the strength in stillness.